was so fun. I was watching it on Facebook, and I don't think my cool countdown showed. Darn it! So, hi, good morning. This is Michelle Fox, and I am broadcasting today on both YouTube and Facebook at the same time. I've got kind of a new setup, so you know me. I'm always trying something new, and half the time I don't know what I'm doing. But let's put the comments on so that you can chime in and let me know if you can't hear me or see me or if something crazy is going on. Make sure that you give StreamYard permission to see your name. That is important if you want me to know who you are when you comment. All right, let's jump in. So I want to talk about Facebook groups today. I think that it is a resource that not everyone understands how to use that for your business. And this is something that I do talk about in the course that is coming up. And so hopefully I'll remember at the end to talk about the course and how you can still get in on that. Let me make sure that this is actually happening on Facebook. It looks like it is. Okay, good. So, okay. Think of this. Before there was such a thing as Facebook or online marketing or anything of that nature, one of the ways that we expanded our business was to meet our neighbors, to join the PTO, to talk about our business during Bible study. Anytime that we got together for a potluck or any place that we physically went where there were people gathered, we let them know who we were, what we were about, gave them our business card, perhaps, maybe had a catalog or a sample. If you went to the dentist, you left a catalog in the waiting room or two or three. And that was one simple way to sort of spread the news. Think of Facebook groups as the new way of doing that. When you start interacting in these various groups, you have exposure to people that you really had no other way of knowing or finding or getting to know. So if you sell a product or have a service that is accessible to anyone in the United States, then you can gear, the groups that you want to join to anyone in the United States. If you can only sell or offer your services locally, there are local groups as well. So there are like informed groups, where I live, it's such and such informed, all the different townships and counties and cities and everything. We all have our informed groups and such. So think of actually, if you were to look right now and see all the groups that you are officially part of, I think you'd be shocked. Because most of us join a group just kind of on a whim. We'll see something, or our friend joins a group, or we're invited to a group and we join it. And then if you don't change your notifications to all, and if you don't interact in the group, you don't typically see what's going on in your feed. So, therefore, you can forget that you ever joined that group. So most of us have groups in our cache, so to speak, and don't even know that. So I would go through and look and see what groups you're already in. And if there's anything that you think, oh my gosh, yeah, I joined that group and I really enjoyed it at first, but I kind of forgot about it, pin that to the top of your groups and try to remember to get in there and get reacquainted with everybody. But other than that, think about what your passions are right now. So sometimes, there's a shift in life. You get a new diagnosis, or you move to a new place, or you start a new job. Something is happening in the lives of your children or your spouse. And so those types of things, all of a sudden you find yourself researching or doing a Google search on a particular topic. Believe it or not, there's going to be a group on that. Okay. So I'll give you some examples for my own life. I, was having all kinds of body aches and such, and just thought it was old age. And I eventually found out I had hypermobility syndrome. And not very many people understand that. Okay. So I found some groups, hypermobile groups, and I was like, oh my gosh, these people actually get it. And so I joined those groups. and started interacting because I was really interested in the topic. And every day I would read the posts and I would be like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I'm so excited to be here because, I was really engrossed. And so they would be welcoming me and talking to me. And sometimes you really make a connection with somebody in that situation. And so I would be cognizant then to send them a friend request. So then they are even more intimately connected with me. And if you have your personal profile set up right, at that point, she's going to realize that you are a professional, that you have a vision, a goal, a plan, not necessarily the brand, your national brand, but just something like, I'm Michelle Fox. I have a vision to enrich women's lives, blah, blah, blah. So just something enough to kind of intrigue her, whereas she continues to watch me in my personal profile, she may in the future be inclined to say, so what is it that you do? So that it's a natural progression. Okay, getting back to the group. If you are just a silent observer, if you're not engaged and interacting, it doesn't really benefit you. And if you aren't making a personal connection with people, like friend requesting them or sending them a private message, then again, you're not making the type of connection where you can then transfer it over to your private, your personal profile. The whole idea is that you are looking for these pods of people where you can introduce yourself and sort of develop that know, like, and trust factor with them, and then scooch them into your personal realm. And then as they get to know you more intimately and eventually see what you do, and eventually maybe even try your product or service, and then they go visit your business page, they like your business page, perhaps try your service or your product, and eventually become a customer. Okay, so that's kind of the pathway that could potentially happen. Hold that thought. I have such bad allergies, it's terrible. Okay, so think of 2 or even 3 things that are happening in your life. So that was happening for me. I had also decided to grow my natural white hair out. And so believe it or not, there are like gray hair lady places. So I started getting involved in those places, and I met a lot of people with that. There are lots of sites of other people that are taking their business online for the first time, and I was, relatively new a couple years back, learning all of this stuff. So I was doing that. So as I was realizing that I'm not just here to absorb this information, but I'm here to interact. I'm also here to give as much as I get. I want to share what I know and provide value for them. It's just a good life principle. And as I show up there as somebody that is there with meaning and purpose and value, then they start taking notice like, oh, she's a leader. She's somebody I want to get to know. And when I post, people start responding, commenting, liking. And so I'm starting to get a following, so to speak. And then they might even look me up on Facebook, even before I friend request them, or looking me up on YouTube or TikTok or whatever. You will begin to make valuable connections that way. And it happens as quickly as you are willing to interact. So when you are thinking of, oh, this is just kind of a waste of time, I'm so embarrassed, like every morning I'm scrolling through Facebook, shift that mindset to, when I drink my coffee in the morning, I spend 20 minutes to strategically utilize Facebook for my business. Yes, I'll go through and I'll look at my friends' posts and I'll smile and comment and whatever, but I'm also going to check my groups. I'm going to, comment and like and see if there's somebody in there that I can friend request or have a conversation with. I'm going to, send birthday greetings and those things. Those are things that I've discussed in the past. But the more you become a consistent presence anywhere on social media, the more people will take notice of you, and the more value you provide, anywhere on social media, the more they're going to want to follow you and be part of your world. So that is what groups has to offer. Here's a new thought, and it might feel like, are you kidding me? At first, but just hear me. Once you start pondering, what your passions are and everything, and think about what you're good at and what you know a lot about. And sometimes you will find that there is a group that you are chiming in so much that you might even think, or someone might even say to you, you should have your own group. You should start a group of your own. You're so good at this, or you know so much, or you are so passionate about it. Yes, you should. Okay. And here's why. When I started Boss Babes, I didn't know any of you, right? Or there were a few of you were my friends prior to this. Many, many, many of you were not. And some of you are in my industry, many of you are not. I was passionate about learning how to bring my business online. I was spending a lot of time learning how to do that, and I love to teach. And part of the way that I process what I learn is talking about it. So I created this group to basically sort of reintroduce everything that I was learning to whoever wanted to know it. And people all around the United States and beyond that wanted to learn what I was learning started joining this group. All right. Now I have relationships with all of you that I would never have had. Most of you, probably all of you, are my Facebook friend. If you're not, let's fix that. And we, know, like, and trust each other, right? And you know that I'm in the beauty and skincare industry. So it's very possible that if you're not in that industry and you need a product in that industry, that you might reach out to me. Do you see what I'm saying? So let's say that, okay, here's another point. I think I hear now. Oh, okay. So is online business directly connected with beauty and skincare? It is in the sense that I'm using it to promote my business. But let's say my passion was gardening. Okay. Is gardening directly, connected to beauty and skincare? No. So your passion project, the group that you create based on something that you know a lot about, or you're passionate about, or you're researching a lot, or you just straight up have fun with, does not have to have anything to do with your business. It really doesn't. It's just, once again, an opportunity for you to create a safe place, a fun environment, a place where people can come and get things of value and learn to like, trust, and know you. And eventually, they will know you well enough to know what you do and who you are. And they will come to you as they need your product and service. And the thing that's great about that, like, you might feel like, are you joking? Like, I would have to make a group, post to a group, go through all that for how many weeks or months to get one customer? Well, depending on how passionate you are with this group, how much you interact, how often you post, that's going to determine how quickly it builds. But when those people connect with you, they are going to be probably a lifelong connection. And they are probably going to bring referrals, because they're more than just your average bear. There's somebody that they've been with you and they've learned from you, and they really want to help you succeed. Okay. So you're going to get referrals from them. And also, this is a little bit bigger than I wanted to go today, but just keep in the back of your mind that you could even at some point monetize that group, where you could do a course or create an ebook or some kind of online file of some kind and sell it to them. You can do that. That is absolutely legal. That's what everybody's doing these days. Okay. I didn't even realize that when you get to, I think, over 1,000 followers, or not followers, what are they called? Subscribers on YouTube. I think that's what it is. Okay. I don't understand all I know about this. Something like when you get over 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, then you can start getting paid per view of your videos. Just things, there are opportunities where as you build an audience, as you build groups, as you build people that know, like, and trust you hither and yon on social media, there are opportunities to make money that you don't even realize exist. And I'm not just talking about money, but opportunities to establish relationships with potential customers, potential team members. And of course, obviously, I just enjoy all the friendships that I have as well. But we're talking about our business, and we want to be savvy and smart. If you want to do something just for the fun of it, that's great. If you want to do something as a charity, that's great. But if you're doing something as a business, you need to be asking yourself, am I being strategic? Am I making money? Is my bottom line profitable? And so in that sense, when you create a group of your, own, like your passion project, you do have to put some work on, at the front end, deciding what you're going to call it, creating a banner, inviting people to join it, deciding what you're going to post and all that. But if you keep that goal in sight, that you're not only going to enjoy this and make friends and serve people, but ultimately this is going to help you build your business, if not the customers for what you sell or the service that you offer, you could in the future create a course, like I said, okay, blah, blah, blah. So the thing that people don't realize is that once it's set up and once you invite people, it's easier to maintain than you realize, because you simply need to follow people and follow groups and join groups and look at, or what do you call that? Like, I guess it's called following, like the Pinterest boards on that topic, do Google searches on that topic, and just sort of queue up some information to post, and post that on the regular. And if you feel like, on the regular for me would have to be once a week, then do it once a week, but you can't do it 5 times in 1 week and then don't do anything for a month, and then do it, 5 times and then, twice a week and then once and then nothing for 3 months. And, it cannot be like that. There has to be some consistency. There has to be some value. It has to show that you personally are there, that you're excited, that you're committed, that you are, want to, provide value. So, but as far as like that thought of plagiarism, like I used to feel like, well, I can't just be looking at what everybody else posts and then turn around and post the same thing. Yeah, you can. It's crazy. That's what's so weird about the online world, is that you can literally listen to what somebody else says, get that knowledge, turn around, click on go live, and say to your group, good morning, friends. I just wanted to come on real quick and tell you about blah, blah, blah. Did you know that? Da, 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 da? And they're like, oh my gosh, she's a genius. They don't know you just learned it 3 minutes ago. And that's A-OK. It is, because knowledge is knowledge. It's out there for everybody. And you don't have to cite your references. Have you seen anybody cite references when they do a live video on Facebook? I sometimes do, because I'm old school. But for the most part, no, you don't. And same thing with posts and things of that nature. Now, there are copyright issues with, certain photographs and stuff. So, whatever. But for the most part, if you use something like Canva, you know that you're safe. If you are following somebody that's your friend that is in the same industry, you're safe. So you kind of you learn the ropes. And worst case scenario, if you step out of line, we're just small fish in a giant, giant ocean. So it's not like we're making millions of dollars and we're going to have this huge lawsuit slapped on us. You know what I mean? Like I had this little message, and what didn't even come to me in an email. It was something that I just noticed on YouTube. It was like, somebody has claimed that you're using their music in your intro or something like that. And I'd be like having a heart attack thinking that I am going to prison. And bottom line, like I had hired somebody to create an info for me, right? An intro. And what the music that he used, he had the copyright for the copyright, whatever you call that for music. But I didn't. And so then I had to supposedly, if I want to use that video to make money, I would need to show whoever wrote that music that I have the rights to it, yada, yada, yada. But I was like, well, I'm not using that video to make money right now, so I'm just not going to worry about it. So, and did anything happen? No. Did I really even need to figure that out? No. I mean, like nobody, it was almost, as I researched it, I started to find out this happens all the time. It's not that big of a deal. We're all kind of learning together because everybody's got a YouTube channel these days. Everybody is reposting content. Everybody's using music and pictures and all this stuff. So the thing is that don't let those kinds of fears or questions stop you. We're learning together. We're all in the process of learning. It's going to be okay. If you're doing something maliciously, then you're going to get in trouble. If you're doing something on purpose to make money that's going to hurt somebody, you're going to get in trouble. But if you're just innocently trying to learn the ropes, you're not going to get in trouble. Okay. You might get a notice like, hey, sorry, you can't do that. You can't use that music. You can't use that picture. But then if you're like, oh my gosh, sorry, I'll take that out. You're good. Okay. So I don't know why I got off on that tangent. Okay, 23 minutes in. Good. I wanted to keep this short and sweet. I've got an appointment in a couple of minutes. But so my point is that since we are on Facebook anyway, you're on there, farting around, looking at your friends' posts and all that. Shift that to make it a business focused time. Join some groups that are meaningful to you and interact in there and start paying attention to who's paying attention to you. Invite them to be your friend. Make sure that when they join you, become your friend, that when they see your personal profile, that there's something in there that they're going to be like, oh, I didn't know that she was in the insurance industry, or I didn't know that she was a business owner. Something that's going to, intrigue them, but not overwhelm them with buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. Okay. That is the opposite. All right. Let's stop and think about this. Have you ever gotten a friend request and you accept it and you go to that person's page and their brand, like as in their national brand, is on there? Every single post is about a product, or it's about, hey, will you host a party for me? Their very first message to you is about, hey, can I send you a catalog? Would you like to post a party? Do you feel like they friend requested you because they wanted you in their life, or do you feel like they want you as a customer? You feel all of a sudden that friend request really feels meaningless, doesn't it? So that is why on our personal profile, we want to look sharp. We want to look professional. We want to hint to what we do and who we are and what we're all about. But we don't want to just barf it all over people the second they visit our page, our profile page, because that makes people feel like, it makes them take a step back instead of embracing us. Do you feel me? So take a look at your personal profile. Ask yourself, is this inviting? Does this present me as a professional without feeling spammy and overwhelming? Those are the types of things that we talk about in the 5-day transformation. We talk about updating your personal profile so that it is exactly that, where it shows what you're about without, blatantly screaming, the brand name and that sort of thing. We talk about creating a business page, and where that is where you can talk more specifically about your brand. We talk more about groups and creating a private group where you can funnel people that are your customer. So if you are interested in that kind of thing, that is the 5-day transformation. And I will put a link where you can click that. You can click the link and you're not obligated. So you can just click the link to get more information. And then as you proceed through that information, there's a place where you can register. But so hopefully you found this interesting. If you have questions, I don't see any comments, but I don't know. I don't know if when I'm broadcasting to multiple places, maybe I can't see them. I don't know. I'm new at this. So anyway, hopefully you got a little something out of it. Post your questions and I'll come back and I'll look at the couple different places where I'm sending this and I'll answer your questions there. And I will also post the link for information about the 5-day transformation course. Okay. So have a wonderful day and thank you. Oh my gosh. Okay. Hold on. I got to get my cool exit outro thing with Jiggy. Okay. Hold that thought. I'm such a goober. All right. All right. Now I'm ready to say goodbye. Hold on. It's cool. Ready? Okay. See you later.